Don't worry about my voice. Just listen to the wordings. Parents, listen to your children. They are the leaders of tomorrow. Let me stop there. Parents, listen to your children. When a child is speaking, listen, because the child knows what is pinching him or her. The ego of parenthood, I know more than you, I know more than you, should relax. I know more than you, I know more than you, causes a lot of problem in the society. Yes, the child has done what is annoying you, but calm down. Let us be able to calm down on anger too, and then look at, the possible ways of saving a child and saving a situation. Today on Against All Odds, we're going to tell you a story. A story about the boy Kesly, who is now a man, who actually lost his hand while playing with his pear. Kesly, how are you?
I'm fine.
Welcome.
Good to
Happy
meet you.
birthday.
Thank you.
Today
Thank you.
is Kelsey's birthday, and he has
Yeah.
come to spend the day with us,
Yeah.
telling you his story.
Thank you.
Don't go away. We'll be back shortly. The program is Against All Odds. Don't go away.
This is Against All Odds.
Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "Out of the mountain or despair is a stone of hope." This further describes the silver lining in every dark tunnel. This silver lining shines even better when they are borne by human as inspiration. Kelsey C. Nwosu stands as such an inspiration, an example of resilience and determination. 24 years ago, he lost his left arm caused by gangrene due to mistreatment of a simple fracture by a quack local bone setter. But in the face of adversity, he chose not to give up, rather to persevere, indeed to the apex. Now, has this disability been with you for 35 years of your life, or how did it come about?
I lost my left arm. That was about 24 years ago. That's immediately we set into the millennium, new millennium. That was May 27th, 2000, year 2000, yes. So I was 11 then, a young boy about to enter secondary school. I was a defensive player. We were having a training, football training, a team, you know. So I overlapped from number five, dribbled, and I wanted to go to the other side to score. So I dribbled one of the defenders there. He knocked me down intentionally. I got up and I demanded for him to just say sorry since it's just children's play. He refused. I said, oh, but the guy, everybody used to know him as a troublesome person. One thing led to that. He wasn't remorseful, as if he did it intentionally. He started a fight. He thought he could beat me, but as God may have it, then that time, it's anybody that you smash on the ground and the person's back touches the ground, that means you are the winner. So that was what happened, and he wasn't comfortable with that. He wanted to retaliate. Why would I even put sand in his mouth? Then as children, once you smack someone on the ground, then put sand in that person's mouth, you have won. So that thing was rankling in his mind and he wanted to retaliate. After the football training, I was going home. I didn't know because I'm not the type that carry anything. I've forgotten about what happened. So I didn't know he was sneaking from behind, trying to get hold of me and do something. So what he could do then when he got close to me was to got hold of my legs as I was I was in motion. So I now fell and I had a fracture here. So he did back all those things, poured sand in my mouth and I ran away. So my teammates were waiting for me to now get up. I tried to press up. I felt a sharp pain. I couldn't. So they had to come and rush me, took me up and then they noticed that I had a fracture. It was just the flesh that was, the bone was broken. So I was taken to a nearby bone setter people referred us to. That, yeah, it's good. We should try him out at least for the night. Then the next day we can go to another people that this family they say that they used to inherit, that trait in them, healing people. They are born healers. So we said okay. It was even our coach then that took me with other team players. They took me to the man saw it. Okay, when we got to the man's house, he wasn't even around. And unfortunately, that man was a jack of all trades. He's a mechanic. When we saw the man was in a radio mechanic house, he can repair car, he can paint, like he can do literally everything. So he's a jack of all. So anything that is available that will give money, he don't mind doing it. So when we saw him, we now explained. He said, "No problem. We should go to his house and wait for him." We waited. He now showed up and look at it. Said we should buy bandage, buy tissue, buy this one. So he used all those things to wrap the place. I had a fracture. That's my home mirrors here. So wrapped it so tight with the crab bandage that it was so tight, and he didn't put any stick. So it was so tight, so I didn't know whether it was the pain from the tightness of the bandage or the pain of the broken bone. As young as I was, I never ever have not seen any person that have broken leg or hand before. So we didn't know anything about that. Then I couldn't sleep that night. I couldn't sleep. The pain was much. But as God may have it anyway, when I woke up in the morning, the hand was dead. It was lifeless, it was swollen, it was dark as charcoal. Then I took me to the man's place. He looked at the hand, he didn't know what to do again. So he said, okay, he will apply hot water. We should leave it for a while. The hot water will melt the blood and bring back life in the hand. It's okay. And that kind of man that his palm is like sandpaper. When he was squeezing the hot water, he wasn't even feeling it because I don't know, such people, yes, he wasn't feeling it. But when he was up, I could, and as a boy with delicate flesh, so the hotness of the water, my skin couldn't carry it. So before you know it, boys cropped up after 2-3 hours of applying the hot water. And since the hand was already lifeless, it started decaying because of the wound. So I was admitted at the hospital. The hospital tried their best, but it kept worsening, and the only option they had to do was the way they were even treating it, as they were cutting off flesh. At the time, I had to see here through here, like I can see through. Wow. Yes, it was that bad. It was really bad. It was very like what I saw in my eyes, like somebody is alive, a part of his body is decaying. I was like at that tender age. Because when I was transferred to a specialist hospital, I was screen grafted, like flesh was cut from my laps, my tummy to patch up my hand. So treating this one, the three wounds and this one, it was another problem. The pain was excruciating. Sometimes when they come to dread, like they have to peel off the gauze, and now it will not be, the blood thing and all. It was, in fact, I thank God. God sent people came. In fact, that was where I met my destiny helper anyway, in the person of Professor Stella Bago. So, and she even called me today. She's been like, I don't know. I thank God. I really thank God for everything.
Through the corridors of education, he strolled with indomitable spirit, earning his stripes in history and international relations from Abia State University. Amidst the sands of service during his NYC in 2017, Kelsey stood tall as the beacon of change, serving as the SDG governor in Mani Katsina State and assuming the mantle of vice president for gender equality, CDS Group.
One of the challenges persons with disabilities are facing, especially the amputees, is buying prosthetics. They are very expensive. So a bionic will cost about 6 to 7 million. And as a young man, I have a lot of things to do with money, so I don't even have that kind of money to. But I wish if I have it now, I can just do it so that I'll be more functional, be more productive, do other things. Use my time to serve humanity in a way. So I know I will do that by God's grace.
When you were talking, you mentioned something about you wanting to have a what again? What you call that?
Bionic up.
Bionic hand. So what is causing the delay? Because you said you want to take these hands off. right? And then fix the bionic hands. What would the bionic hands do for you that this hand is not doing for you?
Okay. When we had the digital marketing training from one recruitment agency, a company requested for about three persons or so. They will interview to give them a job. And in our set, our batch, then I was doing well. So when we went there, after they interviewed the first guy, I was the second guy. Then they were asking me how am I going to type fast under pressure, but can I use one hand to type fast and all that. So which I know that there is, as in the nature of the job don't even require me to, if it's anything I have to write, let's say email, whatever, I know how to go about, and there are many tools now to use for such. So it would have been a challenge, but because I'm a person with disability, they think having one and I can't operate laptop well, and it's something I've been using. So that was why they denied me that job, and because of that, I said that I will focus on that IT skill because IT was my way out. Yes, after school, the job wasn't coming. I had to volunteer in an IT firm, worked as an office assistant. They weren't paying me, and I was also using the opportunity to learn. So, gained the experience, relocated to Abuja, looked out for an organization where I can also volunteer to build the experience. So, from there, God helped me. I have volunteered with a couple of organizations of persons with disability. So, it made me network, met people, built experience, and God has been faithful.
His journey didn't end there. Armed with knowledge and fueled by passion, he embarked on a quest for personal and professional growth. Graduating from the Nigerian Institute of Management and honing his leadership skills at the African Center for Leadership, Strategy, and Development. How do you pay your bills? How are you being able to manage all through this? Yes, you know, bearing in mind that you even have a family.
The mindset of a volunteer is not to make money, it's to make impact. See that the team, bring up whatever they have to achieve that common goal. It can be for the community, it can be for anything. So I was a social manager for some of the organizations I mentioned, and I needed to learn how to design graphics so that sometimes I can post, without needing anybody to design for me, apart from creating the content. So from design, I started designing, went into brand identity and, business branding, also listing business on Google Map as a virtual assistant, Google business profile, I list people's business. So these were my side hustles. So sometimes I would design a flyer or a banner for someone, and I also tell the person I can print it for you. Then I'll go to UTC, I'll print at least. That was how I was earning little, so people get to know me. And sometimes many people say if I did it for them for free.
In 2019, he ventured in freelancing as a visual assistant and has helped brands and organizations build reputable online presence with his digital skills. He has 5 years' experience in social media management, personal branding, graphic design, Google business profile, management, and brand identity design. You know, there's something that's been striking me. The guy that made this happen to you, what is it? Tell me about that part of it. What is your relationship with him like, and then even the man and all that?
What happened when we were kids, and I see it as okay, that was a mistake. He didn't have the intention of breaking my hand. He wanted to retaliate as every kid would have done. So I forgave him. And I think it was that forgiveness that made God to, because at every point in my life, God always sent a destiny helper. So I know the struggles have not been easy, but I forgave him. Anytime he sees me, he fears that maybe about to me. Even the man that mismanaged the injury, I forgave them. Sometimes if I travel back to my, the man will see me. If we're on the same lane, he will go over to the other lane. But I don't have anything, I thank God for my life. So they are not my problem. My problem is to achieve my goal, my dreams. There was a day I went to a field to watch football, normal football training. And I saw two boys fighting. And it was exactly the same scenario that happened to mine that I lost my arm. If I didn't fight that, as he maybe hit me on the chest, if I didn't retaliate, the fight wouldn't have happened, and by now maybe I would still be using him. So one thing I used to tell, fight is bad. A lot of there's this friend of mine, we studied at the same school. He just died recently. A young, promising man. Just someone just he went to separate a fight. The next person now took bottle, broke the bottle. That was
Uh-uh.
how he did. Yes.
Meanwhile, it
Recent,
was him that went to
he
separate
just
fight.
went to separate. So fight is bad. Like is bad. I used to discourage. Like don't even think about whatever. Just pray to God to give you the grace to manage your anger. Don't even say you want to show. Because honestly, I beat the guy like, but when he retaliated, what happened?
It
So
was
today
well.
now who is facing? So what I used to tell people is that they should manage their anger, and they should also know that there is a reason for everything anyway. You can't question God. Persons with disabilities, some are new in the community. They don't even know where to start from. So these are the people that need this motivation for them to know that they are not in this alone. After disability, life goes on.
In all his giant strides, it was his calling for advocacy of rights of persons with disabilities that truly set his soul ablaze. Kelsey was part of the advocacy team that spearheaded efforts to make aviation more accessible for persons with disabilities at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport in Abuja in 2022.
Once they see a person with disability, some people will think the person is a beggar, he's coming to receive harm from them and others, so which is very wrong. So I used to tell persons with disability, whatever has happened, a wounded dog is better than a dead lion. So if you have your life and you have your time, everybody have equal 24 hours a day. What are you doing with it? Some of them are complaining about employment or complaining about it. Just find a way out. Find where you can serve, build experience, start from there. How many years ago? Like I would say I have it, but I know with the little God has blessed me with. I thank God. I wasn't lazy even when I was jobless. I was volunteering with other organizations, and they were not paying. You know how much data cost now. I was using my data, using my time. This accessible aviation project we did at Nnamdi International Airport, to make the aviation accessible for persons with. I was part of the team. So it was projecting me, using my time and my skill and my expertise and all that to invest in other people. So it was also investment in my own self.
How do you advise parents who, if only had listened to you, this wouldn't have happened, okay? The society and persons with disability. What do you want to say to them?
Disability does not define us. So I want people to know that, when you say persons with disability, you should be celebrating determination and resilience. Because I have known of a man that they amputated his two legs because of diabetes. He couldn't withstand. He killed it. He drank poison and died. So when people see a person with disability, they should see it as God, thank you for my life, and also to celebrate that person for even because it's not easy, rather than the stigmatization and all that. So no stigmatization. So we should be more disability inclusive. If you are building a house, think about a person with this. Some people have built it before they could finish it, maybe an accident setting and the person can't climb that house again. So if the person thought of being disability inclusive, the house will still be accessible to him. To the parents, I would say that in Nigeria, children don't really matter. Their say don't matter. Some parents don't listen to their children. They think once they are your parents, they can just decide whatever. In fact, they will decide your life for you because they think they own you. Had it been my parents listening to me and untie that band-aid that night, not just because I was a boy, why will I tell them? The man have already said that we should not untie the bandage. Had it been they just listening to me, nothing would have happened. In the morning, we can still tie back. Maybe it wouldn't have been this bad because that space of 12 a.m. to 4, 5 a.m. that everybody was sleeping. Had it been it was in the daytime, we would have noticed that and maybe untie it. So that's what I'm trying to tell parents, that they should always listen to their children, find out whatever it is that is bothering them. And as parents, their responsibility is to take care of them, not to be tiger parents that, it must be the way you said it, that is the way it's done. Though it wasn't the way I was treated, but some parents, that's what they do. And also to persons with disabilities, you are destined to become whoever you want to be in this life. It's my favorite quote. God has given you time, given you whatever He has deposited inside of you, giving you life and a purpose. So I have seen people without hands and legs, they are making it big. It's not making it big in the area of money, like touching lives. touching other people's life with their words, healing people and all that. And some are doing well in different areas they are. So some of us have this entitlement mentality that, our life depends on government, and some people have this beggarly attitude. Someone wanted to beg me one day. He's an amputee. He saw my own and
And I held
he
back. Kelsey's unwavering belief is that through effective inclusive education, capacity building, and empowerment of PWDs in information technology, they can shatter barriers and achieve self reliance and financial independence.
in my absence, what do people say about me? If I go today, what will people say about me? So these are the things that matters to me. And every point in time, I have any way to make anything impact, be nice to someone, just be a good person. That's fine. So this is my 5th year, and I thank God, for everything. The comment has been positive, positive. So that's what matters to me, and I thank God for that.
And your parents, what do they think about you right now when
They
they
are
look at
proud.
you now?
Kelsey, we are proud of you. Why send me a account number? Yeah, use this one. So I thank God. So I thank God.
This is Against All Odds.
Kelsey, thank you so much for coming on Against All Odds.
Pleasure is mine.
And today is your birthday, so
Yes.
happy birthday
Thank
again.
you. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
hoping that the sky will be your starting point. That's what they say, right?
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
Kelsey, thank you so much. Kelsey, a young, talented person with disability who hasn't allowed his disability to deter him in any form. Kelsey is a multitasked person. He's a printer, he's a web designer, he's a video editor. He is everything you can think of in the electric and social world. He is doing so well in his space, and a disability advocate too. What are you doing with your time? He said something. Everybody has 24 hours given. What are you doing with your 24 hours? Are you in a dark room crying that everything has ended for you? Or are you going to step out there like Kelsey and make your life useful to you and the society? Thank you very much for staying with us on Against All Odds. The advice to parents and the society, let's take this very seriously. The child is the one crying. Please listen. Thank you. It's Against All Odds on the Nigerian Television Authority, the NTA. And my name is Doshima Pius Ikirafi. Looking forward to seeing you again. Same time next week, same station. Bye.